Good morning everyone, I'm here in the Lake District National Park in Cumbria, northwestern England. Today I'm going to climb Blencathra. It's a mountain here, not too far from the A66 road, so it's fairly easy to get to. It comes straight off the M6. I just parked on this small road. You see there's a few other cars here, and my first climb is going to be up here. Scales fell, and you can just see the footpath leading up. Little white dots around it are sheep. Oh, there's a walker. So I'm going to follow it up, then back across Scales Fell to Scales Tarn, and there I'm going to look at the conditions of Sharp Edge, which is an arete. Going to be pretty tough to climb if it's too windy or too wet. I came out here last weekend hoping to climb, and when I got up top to Scales Tarn and looked, it was just too foggy. I couldn't film. I was slipping all over the rocks and there's too much wind, so it was a 3-hour drive up. I had to hike to the tarn, then back, but safety first. Okay, so just heading up this small lane and going to turn right and start climbing. Should be cool. You can see it's still pretty much dawn. So this is the first good look I've had of Blencathra, also known as Saddleback. See, it's pretty flat on top, and there's a few ridges going down off it for you to climb. I'm going to be climbing one of those known as Sharp Edge. When I was here last weekend, I couldn't see Blencathra at all, so this is the first time I've actually seen it. Doesn't look too bad. It's a fairly short hike I'm going to be doing, though if I do go up Sharp Edge, it should be a lot of fun. So we'll see what the wind's like when I get there. It's blowing a little bit, but this is fine. This is just a few miles an hour. So the weather's been kind of warm this week. So it's the 1st of October, and when I live near Sheffield it was 28 degrees Celsius, which is 82 Fahrenheit. So it's been fairly warm all week. Well, if I zoom in on Sharp Edge, it looks like there are some other people climbing it, so it looks like it's a go for me. Should be fun. Never climbed an arete like this, so it's going to be quite interesting. Not sure how I'm going to film it. That could be the most interesting part of it. And I am just below Sharp Edge, which is what I want to be climbing. So that should be fun. The wind's just kicked up. Now I'm here, you can see ripples on the lake. I'll put my fleece on before heading up. I don't have to fumble around for it. because I get too cold halfway up. Also make sure my gloves are easily accessible in case the rocks are cold to touch and I want to put something warm on my hands. Okay, doesn't look too bad. So we'll see what it's like halfway up. I'm starting to look down on Scales Tarn now. The wind is also picking up. I better try and get over the worst of Sharp Edge before it either rains or a really big wind starts up. It's not too bad enough, the rocks are dry, which I'm happy about. So here's the other side of it. As you can see, Sharp Edge is quite a sharp edge with a drop down. It's actually not too much of a distance. No, like 100 feet or so. So let's get up there to Sharp Edge and just see how sharp it is. It used to be called Razor Edge by some people, so let's hope I don't slip and ride it like a horse, because that'd be painful. So there's quite a little scramble just here. Should be fun to get up before I get up onto the ridge. Oh, but their rocks are actually sharp. See, here it is. And, if I just climb up, you can see. If I just sit down. Oh, that is painful. You can see how it's very much a ridge on it. So if I sit here, you can see how there's a drop either side, be formed by a glacier eroding here, and a glacier eroding down here to lead this arete here. So I'm going to have to pick my way across carefully. Well, now I can actually stand up and show the edge. Let's have a look. I was sat kind of around that area, but this bit it's pretty flat, and then where my backpack is, I'm going to follow it up. That looks kind of a sharp section. There's a scramble just up there. There's just one section, this dip down here, where I had to wait for the wind to die down because it's pretty narrow, as you can see, and the wind was just tugging at me. It's actually not that bad of a climb. The wind could be slightly better, but the rocks are fairly dry. I've had a few slippages, but I'm glad I didn't do it last week. Another reason I'm glad I didn't do it last week was I want to have this view. The hardest part of this trip so far is filming myself, finding spots to rest the camera, and then I'm staring at it the entire time because, you know, the wind's getting up and I don't want it to blow off. It's a quite nice camera. I think I'm actually almost at the scramble part. I think I've got one tiny little bit more of this sharp edge to go, this arete, and then it's scrambling time up onto the top of Blencathra. Now let's look more at this arete from this angle. Here you can see where the glacier will have been and made this cirque, this corrie here, and left scales tarn. Just scales fell there. So glacier that side, and then another glacier eroding this nice round valley as well. This is the scrambling section, where it's no longer a ridge, a arete. It's a slope I've got to get up, but it's actually a very steep slope. And now I'm doing it one-handed. Okay, camera away. Woo, flat ground, no drops. Sheep again. Well, this is the summit of Blencathra I'm going to head up to. Whew. That was a good climb up that scramble. I wish I could have filmed it better. But I really needed both hands. Sorry about the wind. So I think I just escaped the worst of the wind when I was up on sharp edge, because this, I wouldn't have wanted to have crossed some of the narrowest sections of it when it was blowing like that. Isn't the Lake District beautiful? Said that this should become a national property for people to enjoy, and here it is, national park. I'm glad I'm not on sharp edge right now. The wind is blowing in some pretty big gusts. I can see there's two figures still on sharp edge, and man, I hope they were hanging on tight for that. That was knocking me over when I stood up. Now, if you want to climb Blencathra and you don't fancy doing sharp edge, then there's paths like this up. They're not too bad, because Blencathra is it's a very popular mountain anyway, even without sharp edge. There are other ridge routes up it as well, and some flatter routes like this.